Who was the man on the $1 bill? The story of George Washington you've never heard. All right, let's talk about the guy on the $1 bill. You see his face every day, but how much do you really know about George Washington? Sure, you've heard the basics: first president, Revolutionary War hero, founding father. But did you know he almost quit halfway through the war? Or that he was so popular people wanted him to be a king? Yeah, that's a true story. Let's dive into the man behind the money. When you think of George Washington, you probably picture a guy in a powdered wig looking super serious on a horse, right? But there's way more to him than just being the face of American currency. For starters, Washington was a man of contradictions. He hated politics but became the first president. He fought for freedom but owned slaves. And oh yeah, he had some of the worst teeth in history. We're talking wooden dentures here. Kind of makes you appreciate your dentist, huh? So, who was the real George Washington? Let's break it down. Born in 1732 in Virginia, George wasn't exactly handed a silver spoon. His dad died when he was just 11, leaving him to figure life out pretty quickly. He didn't have a fancy education like Thomas Jefferson or Benjamin Franklin. No, George learned most of what he knew on the job. By his early 20s, he was already leading troops in the French and Indian War. And spoiler alert, he wasn't great at it. In fact, he messed up so badly during one battle that he accidentally started a global conflict. Yep, little old George kicked off the 7 Years' War by signing a confession in French that he didn't even understand. Oops. Fast forward to 1775, and Washington gets the gig of a lifetime, leading the Continental Army against the British. Sounds cool, right? Not really. The army was underfunded, undersupplied, and honestly kind of a joke. Picture a ragtag group of farmers with pitchforks going up against the world's most powerful military. But here's the thing about Washington: he had this uncanny ability to inspire people. Soldiers followed him into freezing winters, losing battles, and even starvation. Ever heard of Valley Forge? Washington turned that disaster into a turning point, rallying his troops when they were about to give up. The guy had guts, no doubt about it. After the war, Washington just wanted to chill at his plantation, Mount Vernon. But nope, the country wasn't going to let him off that easy. In 1789, he became the first president of the United States, basically because everyone else was like, yeah, we trust you, please fix this mess. Fun fact, Washington didn't even want the job. He was so over it that he set the 2-term limit by stepping down after 8 years. Can you imagine that today? Someone willingly giving up power? Here's the thing about George Washington: we've kind of turned him into this untouchable figure like a marble statue. But the real Washington was just a guy, flawed, complicated, and trying to do the best he could. He made mistakes, sure, but he also set the foundation for a country that's still standing over 200 years later. And hey, he did it all without Twitter. Impressive, right? So the next time you pull out a $1 bill, take a second to think about the man behind the portrait: a farmer, a general, a president, and maybe, just maybe, a little more human than we give him credit for. What do you think? Is George Washington just a face on the money, or is there something about his story that still inspires us today? Let me know in the comments. And hey, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video, because who wouldn't want to know the untold story of George Washington? Hit that subscribe button and join us as we answer the biggest questions about the people, places, and events that shaped the world. Because the $1 bill is just the beginning. See you in the next video.